Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. So, in this session, we are going to understand the process of registering a trademark in India. Now, this is one of the most practical areas of intellectual property law because it directly impacts how businesses protect their entire brand identity. So, when you think about brands like Amul, Reliance, or Infosys, then their value is not just in the goods or the products or the services that they provide, but a massive part of their entire brand and worth comes from their name and the brand logo itself. And that is where trademark law becomes extremely essential. So, in India, the governing law for trademarks is, of course, the Trademarks Act of 1999, and it provides substantive and procedural frameworks for trademarks. Now, let's try to understand the entirety of this concept. So, when we talk about registration, we are not just talking about a simple, legal technicality. Here, we are talking about creating legal ownership for your brand identity and procuring the ability to defend it nationwide. So, here you are creating a justiciable legal blanket for your brand, okay? So, when we begin the process of registration, one of the first concepts that we come across is class. Now, what does this mean? So, in trademark law, all goods and services are divided into separate 45 classes under NCS. Now, out of these 45 classes, 1 to 34 classes cover goods and 35 to 45 cover services. So, if we talk about certain classes, like maybe class 3, that covers cosmetics, perfumes, and cleaning products, and so on. Then, if we talk about class 25, then it covers clothing, footwear, and so on. Class 41 covers education and training services, so things like that. Now, we need to understand why this is essential. So, your rights are tied to the class in which your trademark lies or is registered in. For example, if you have a trademark named Lotus registered under class 25 for clothing, someone else could still register that name Lotus for their trademark under class 11 for, let's say, water purifiers. So, unless your mark is well known and is well recognized across industries, you cannot announce infringement to your brand because they fall under a separate class. Now, let's get into the heart of the matter and understand how to register a trademark in India. So, the government has sort of streamlined the entire process through IP India portal, and it makes it much easier for businesses, startups, and individuals to apply for trademarks. Now, when we talk about conducting a trademark search, so it is very, very important, that before you apply for a trademark, you should always do trademark search on IP India database. So this very easy search tells you if an identical or a similar mark has already been in the portal and it already exists in your certain class, and this is very essential, because if you skip this, then you risk your application being rejected or opposed late in the later stages, just in case somebody else has already registered a similar trademark to yours. And if you want to trademark the word sun glow for your sunscreen brand under class 3, then a quick search on this portal will reveal whether someone else has already registered the similar name to sun glow or sun glare under the same class. Then, after ensuring that yes, your trademark is unique and nobody else has already applied for something like that, then you should go ahead and log into your user ID, as I've attached a screenshot here. Then you need to fill out the form TM-A. So the application is basically filed through this form, and the fee structure here is if you're an applicant who is an individual or a startup or a small enterprise, then it is roughly around 4,500 rupees. But if you are a big company or a large association or organization, then it is around 9,000 rupees. Also, just make sure that in case you are registering as a collective or a certification mark, then the draft regulations with form TM-M must be submitted. But if not, then TM-A is enough. So in this form, you need to present your basic details, your address, nationality. You need to fill out a clear representation of your mark, as you can see here, whether it's a word, logo, symbol, then the class number under which your good or services fall. Then as you can see here, there is different type of descriptions provided for different type of marks. So you can refer to this and describe your goods or services accordingly. Or if you're using an attorney, then their information and stuff like that. And once you file that, you'll get an acknowledgement number, and you can immediately start using the symbol with the symbol TM trademark next to your mark. Now, once you have applied, the application goes to the trademark registry for examination, and here the registrar checks, whether you are complying with the act or whether the mark is distinctive. And in case there are any objections, then an examination report is issued, and it usually takes around 1 to 2 months. And if an examination report is issued, then you must file a response within 30 days, and here you need to explain why your mark should be accepted. And sometimes in some cases, this may also involve a hearing before the registrar itself. And if the registrar is satisfied, then your mark is published into the trademark journal. So this is how a trademark journal basically looks like. So this serves as a public notice period of 4 months, and during this period anyone can oppose your application. And if an opposition is filed, then both the sides need to submit evidence and arguments, and it is almost like a mini trial. But in case there is no opposition, or in case you successfully overcome an opposition, then your trademark proceeds to registration, and you receive a registration certificate with an encircled R symbol. Now, your registered trademark has a validity of 10 years, but it can be renewed indefinitely. Overall, from initiation to conclusion, this entire process takes around 10 to 12 months, but it can be expanded according to the objections or the oppositions. So, to sum up, registering a trademark in India online roughly includes understanding classes and filing the form TM-A, going through examination, and finally registration. And even though this process is very time consuming, but the benefits are incredible. You get statutory protection. So instead of only being able to use the passing of law to protect your trademark, you get nationwide recognition as well, instead of just region specific recognition. And of course, it increases your business credibility. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this session. And that is all for today. My name is Bhargavi, and this is Vaquill.